Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Somebody Did Something. Good morning, Mom. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. I mean, there's not a lot of people doing something, but it looks like the universe might be doing something. Did you hear about the outage of the phones?
Yeah, I heard something like that, but I also heard that might be a dry run for what they're going to do. It's just getting people used to what's going to happen.
Well, you know what? It might be a dry run and they're just blaming it on the sun and a solar flare, and the poor sun can't defend itself.
Right, right. Because
but
that's coming. That's coming. It's going to happen.
but yes, if I guess everybody is having an outage, it says 911 crashes.
Oh, geez.
So that's why I find interesting that it might be a dry run kind of thing. And think about it. We as humans have put ourselves in a predicament that we really don't use landlines.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, and I don't know if landlines get affected by a solar flare, but they might. I know that the phone lines usually go underneath the ground, but I would assume not. But now if we have a, a mobile, like I'm thinking right now in my house, I don't have a landline. If the phones go out or T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever is out, how am I going to call 911? That's kind of scary.
You're not. That's why you have to have supplies and you have to have weapons and you have to have guns and knives and sticks and rocks, anything you could find to
Okay.
protect yourself.
So I was thinking more if I was getting a heart attack, how was I going to call 911? Not necessarily a zombie apocalypse.
Well, think about the apocalypse before a heart attack, because you might get a heart attack because of the apocalypse.
This is true. This is true. But I I am inclined to believe the dry run. And this is why I'm inclined to believe the dry run because I don't know, for the past 5, 6, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and I just never noticed, it's like something always happens or something little happens before something big happens. And then you always hear, well, thank God this happened 3 months ago or 6 months ago because we were ready. Yeah, things that make it go,
They're making things happen. Things don't just happen. People make things happen. Who makes it happen? I don't know, but it has to do with the government. They make all this happen, and then they say, "Oh, we're going to fix this so it doesn't happen again." No, no, no. It's going to happen again. It's going to be worse. So,
Yes, I I agree with all that because there's something always bigger. But I'm wondering. I mean, AT&T is pretty big, right? And it says that it's affecting some Verizon people too. I wonder. I wonder if it's affecting David. I mean, I know it hasn't affected me here. And that's what's interesting, right? If it was a solar flare, I wonder where it's getting affected exactly. Because if it's a solar flare, from what I've heard in my conspiracy theory YouTubes, it's either going to be a large area in the East Coast that's going to take most of the East Coast, and the West Coast, like a little bit, gets saved, or it's going to be the West Coast. It's a solar flare, right? It's not just pinpointed. So if this is just pinpointed in, let's say, New York and Philadelphia, it's like, wait a minute, that cannot be a solar flare. Unless it's an OCD solar flare and they're mad because, I don't know.
well, this happened last night, right?
I think it happened, yes, early morning, and they're still dealing with it right now.
Oh, okay. So some people still have no service.
Yeah, I'm looking here to see what the map is. Okay, so, oh, this is interesting. It looks like the, are you ready?
Yeah.
It looks like the bulk of it is in Dallas, Texas,
Oh,
Hu-
okay.
Houston.
Right.
Um, I think this is around Louisiana, New Orleans area,
Yeah.
and Atlanta.
I wonder if it's affecting the illegal zone that they get.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the map, and it has a lot of other ones, but it's like super light yellow, and then it has like really bullseye red where the effect is the most. So it looks like the center of the country, Atlanta, and then a little bit in San Francisco, a little bit in LA, but Lord and behold, Phoenix is not affected, New Mexico is not affected, like it skipped. So
Oh,
I don't know. The solar flare had holes in it or something.
yeah, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Do that.
But the Atlanta one is interesting because if we hear anything coming out of whatever's going on in Georgia with the trial, right? With the Fannie Manny trial,
Yeah.
then I'm wondering if those people are going to hear anything about it because half of their phones and connections are off.
Well, it's that we hear what they want us to hear. I mean, people hear what the news wants them to hear because they don't go to another place to look for news. They just hear the CBS, NBC, CNN. Because I just heard today that in a college, two students from another country who came in and they exposed the people in a college, the students, to some kind of weaponized powder or poison or something. And we didn't hear about that. Only one station, I think, put it. CBS, I think they said put it.
Mm.
We didn't hear nothing about that. This happened this week, I think. I don't know when it happened. I just heard it today. Why didn't the news cover this? But they didn't. They didn't cover it. So I don't know what's going on. And now I just heard that the kids from that did the shooting,
Mm-hmm.
they were over 18.
Oh, so they weren't juveniles.
So they just didn't want to say the race.
For
Okay.
everybody that's listening, she's talking about the parade on the Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl. There was a parade. There was a shooting. They didn't want to divulge who were the offenders, and they turned out to be African Americans or black youth. And they said they didn't want to put out their names because they were underage, and it just coming out allegedly that they're not. But you know, Mom, I
What?
know when it's a non-Caucasian person that does stuff. I know immediately because if the news doesn't say immediately who it was, that's because it was a minority.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I could start betting. I mean, they should have a betting section for this in Vegas, since everything you can put a wager on. They should
That's what
start
they
they
do.
should start a wager on who was the suspect, black or white. Here we go.
It doesn't fit the narrative, so we don't put
Or transgender now, right? Because
it. Yeah.
I just think, transgenders are doing a lot of stuff right now, unfortunately. And then it all comes back to television, right? It's like these people probably would have never done what they did if they did not have social media and television telling them, hey, you deserve to be treated a certain way. If I believe that if the social media or society will tell these people, hey, you're less than 1% of the population, it's going to be hard, but your fight to be who you want to be is important. So just hang in there. But instead, they tell them, oh my God, no, everybody needs to bend to you. How dare people not bend to your will? And this causes a internal, I would say, anger of how dare you not do what I want to do, because the media just puts that on them over and over and over, when in fact they should be telling them, hey, it is important who you are. You should feel validated, but you need to find out within yourself and know that there's people that love you. There's a lot of people that freaking are not going to understand why you're doing what you do, but that doesn't matter. You should not care what those people say. You should just concentrate on the people that love you and support you and just ignore the rest. But no, they don't tell them that.
All the rest are thinking that you are crazy. That's it.
Yes.
Tell them. Just tell them.
Yeah. And we're not saying that transgender people are crazy. Just so anybody listening, we're just saying that they should ignore the people that think that they're crazy, that they're senile, that there's something, I don't know, that they were dropped on their heads, because there's a lot of people that think that there's something wrong. I mean, there's a lot of people that even think that this has to do with vaccines, right? The accumulation of the mercury and the vaccine just messes with people's brains. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that there's people that think that this is why we're having this type of growth, because it's a growth.
It's a mental disease. They don't want to admit it, but that's what it is.
Some people do think that. Yes.
It is mental.
It is allegedly. Some people do think that.
That was the meaning back in the dictionary back then. Now they changed it, but that's it. That's what it is.
Yes. But going back to the point is, I believe the social media, the news, they feed people this notion of this needs to happen. And then when these people see it doesn't happen, then they get angry. And in their anger, they act out and they do things they shouldn't. And it goes back to that notion that the research show that the number one cause, other than depression and all the mental issues of suicide, is because somebody else committed suicide. So somebody hears it and they go ahead and they start thinking about it and they go ahead and do it. So I say, and I heard this when I was young, and it was like, wait a minute. That's why when something like this happened, they put a lot of, in schools, they put a lot of emphasis on counselors, A, to help with the trauma, and B, because they know that this causes more of the same. So if we know that we as humans hear that somebody took their own life, and that might cause us to take our own life, I mean, that is just extreme. Then you cannot tell me that hearing certain things over and over and over is not going to cause us to react a certain way. When I think when I read it is out of one suicide and people hear it, you get two more or something like that. So it's like, come on, people. You know what you're doing. You know the manipulation you're having. And unfortunately, there's a lot of brains out there that, and I say because they're nice, right? Usually people that don't agree with everybody else is, okay, they're jerks or they're hard-headed. And it's not that. It's just, it takes more time to manipulate other people than other people. And I think that nice people that don't want to, quote unquote, feel bad about themselves because nobody likes them, or be against everybody else when everybody else is saying, hey, the moon is purple, they'll go, oh yeah, I can see how the moon is purple, instead of saying, no, the moon is obviously white. but they don't want to have that. What are you, stupid? Obviously, the moon is purple. Everybody's telling us it's purple kind of situation. And I mean, there's been studies about this, that people just go with the flow. And there's people that just don't go with the flow.
That's why some people got the shot and some people didn't. That's why we have mouths and almond joy, because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yes, it's the almond joy theory, right? Sometimes you feel like a mess, sometimes you don't. I love it. But yes, I'm wondering how long is going to take them going back to the whole solar flare, whatever, figure out exactly what happened and for them to fix it and see how crazy people get. I mean, the dry run is to see really how people are going to react to it, right?
Right.
So we'll have to see.
Well, how long have I been telling you that there's supposed to be a shutdown of everything for like at least 3 to 10 days?
Since Trump lost.
Exactly. That's been almost 4 years now.
Yes, it's been almost 4 years.
It's getting closer and closer to happening. And now they change it. Like, if it doesn't happen before he wins, it's going to happen when he wins. But something has to happen because these people do not want him to win. They're doing everything to stop it. So they're going to have all these people coming in. They're going to do something. Somebody's going to do something. That's for sure. And then them themselves are going to do something. Like the guy in Russia that got killed. Mm-hmm. Come on. Who killed him? Couldn't kill him? No. He had him in jail. Why would he kill him? Somebody said to kill him from our side. I'm sorry, but they're saying that. Allegedly. Hello? But, yeah. So they could, pass the money. Look what he's doing. He's gonna kill everybody. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah. And to your point, talking about Trump and Biden, I'm seeing a trend, right? Because today when I opened up the Google News, the headline was voters agree that Trump and Biden are too senile to be president. So it's like one of those things, if we can't beat them, like join them kind of thing. Like they know Biden is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? So in order to say, okay, he has diminished capacity, but hey, this one also has diminished capacity. They both have diminished capacity. So it's like admitting that there's a problem, but the other person has a problem. So forget about the problem because they both have that problem, which the other one really doesn't have that problem. The other one could get on a stage and know where he's walking.
Exactly.
It's like, come on. I mean,
they just want to find an excuse for Biden.
Yes.
So they want to say, they're both old. Let's get somebody young. No. It's not going to happen, and that's not going to work. They could try it. It's not going to work. That's it. Biden's going to be out. I don't know who's going to take his place. Because I heard he went to California to talk to Newsom, but nobody wants Newsom. So I don't know. I don't know who they're going to put there. But nobody wants Kamala. Come on. Something has to happen. They might leave him there to the end. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. The latest is that he doesn't have to debate with Trump. No debate.
What?
Yes. It's all over. I heard it yesterday on The View on a commercial when I was going by a patient's room. And I said, I stopped and said, what? Oh, he doesn't have to debate. Because everybody knows either you want Trump or you want Biden. There's not going to be no debate. That's what they're saying now. So, yeah. So, it's getting great because he can debate. What's he going to stand there and say, let me think what I'm going to say now. Because he has done that. I heard him do that.
And that is what is so annoying. It's like you see these little things that they're doing. It's blatant things. Like, let's say if this does happen, he doesn't have to debate. You see this, and how can the other side not be like, wait a minute. What you know what I've come to believe, Mom?
But,
That there's certain things that get people mad. Like I was
yep.
telling my brother the other day, I could have something and you could break it. Yeah, okay, we'll fix it. And there's people that will go ballistic if you break something of theirs. I can lend you money and you cannot pay me back. Yeah, okay. And there's people that will just, again, go just crazy. But for me, something that just gets me like, it's just insulting my intelligence, right? Trying to take me as a fool.
Yeah.
It's don't do it, because if you're gonna do it, just don't do it. If you're gonna do it, just make it, be good at it at least.
Right.
Because I'm not dumb, and it's like,
Oh no, but you're not dumb. But all this, oh yeah, he doesn't have to debate. Why should he debate? He doesn't need to say Trump, blah 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 blah. Because he can't. He cannot debate Trump. Oh no, they went so far as to say that. Remember when he debated Trump, that he wiped the floor with Trump in those debates. These people are crazy. The lady who said that when he debated Trump twice in 2020 election, he wiped the floor with Trump. That was that Sunny girl, the Spanish girl that no one knows that she's from. That's her name, right? And she was saying that. I said, I was just laughing. I said, what the heck are these people looking at or following? Because that's the biggest lie ever. But yeah, so he doesn't need to debate. He does not need a debate. There's not going to be debates. I don't know if they change it or whatever, but that's what they're saying.
oh my. No, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like the rules are changing for a reason. Why is the reason, right? Just like I tell my kids, don't ever take things at face value and always question why. There's a reason they're doing this. So why is the reason they're protecting Biden? Why are they protecting him? Because obviously he doesn't know his head from his feet, which is sad.
No, it's not sad because he's been doing a lot of bad stuff all his life. Stealing money from the government. Not stealing like taking the money and taking it away. No, doing shady deals with his family, with Hunter and his brother. They've been doing this and they got the evidence. And now they say, oh, there's no evidence. Yes, there is evidence. The only thing that they control everything, so nobody's doing anything yet. But wait till Trump comes back. You're going to see things are going to change. Things might not get better. They could get worse for a while.
No,
and not everything's going to get fixed, but a lot of things are going to happen.
No, yeah, but like everybody does that, right? Like we had the famous So Given Clinton Foundation.
Oh, Jesus.
And then once she was completely out of the government, you've never heard anymore, or anybody. I don't think anybody donates anymore to the Clinton Foundation.
Of course not. The influence.
Because exactly. But that's what I'm trying to say is I don't feel bad for people who are willfully duped, right? What I feel bad about or angry about is that this mindset is responsible for voting and I have to deal with their decision.
Oh my God.
That's what, because for example, here came somebody and they were so excited that Taylor Swift got something ridiculous like 40,000 people to register to vote for a campaign she did. And I told that person, well, that sucks. And they're like, well, why does that suck? That's good. And I said, because right now you're telling me that 40,000 people, the mentality of those people are they waited for a singer to tell them what to do when they knew, everybody knows, you're 18, you could vote. So they didn't care about anything or didn't even register to vote until a simpleton told them, hey, go register. So at that moment, if she, right now, I told the person, you're happy because she's going for your candidate. But the minute she switches to the other candidate, you're going to be upset that those 40 that she was able to get those 40 people to go ahead and register. And you're going to think the same thing I'm thinking. But I'm not thinking it in a sense of red and blue, Democrat, Republican. I'm thinking in a sense like, no, if you did not have the sense to do your duty to go ahead and vote, I don't want you voting, because you're just going to vote for whatever somebody tells you to vote. You're not going to look at the facts. You don't even care what's going on. You're just going to vote whatever they tell you to vote. And I think, I don't know. I think differently. I'm telling you, I just think differently. I'm from another universe. I just give up.
You don't care. We hear dancing, we hear singing. Oh, everybody. I'm telling you, it's what they show you.
Yeah.
They told you, well, that's what we care about.
It's the control.
Out of it. It's not. Let me say, oh, that's my no.
Yeah. No, it's the control, and it's just silliness. But talking about control, something we can control is what this judge is gonna say regarding Fannie Manny and everything that's going on with Atlanta.
It's so long.
Well, it's not taking long. I mean, it's just the weekend. I think from what I heard, we should have an answer by Friday, which is tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
From people that are legal people that have lawyer degrees and are whatever, they're lawyers. I've heard a lot of them say there's this little caveat that you cannot have the what's that word? You cannot show impropriety, right? You can have a hint of impropriety, and there's a hint of impropriety all through here. So, they're saying that if the judge stands on that alone, because I guess the rules, right? Your conduct needs to be such that there shouldn't even be a hint of impropriety. If the judge goes on that alone, then she's out. She has to be out. But if the judge gives her leeway, and depending on what he heard back, all the little things that he's like, okay, I'll hear this backstage. In my quarters, I'll hear this in my quarters. Then whatever he hears, then he'll make. But a lot of people are saying there's no way. There's no way he's not going to say they should be disqualified or there was a mess going on. But we'll have to see tomorrow and see what happens, because I think that's the only thing we're waiting for. Unless it does happen and then the whole phone system goes down tomorrow because it went down today.
Right.
And nobody will know anything.
Oh, could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, they drop it on a Friday so people don't get into it in the weekend. That's what they usually do. Something important always comes out on Friday.
Correct. Something important always comes out on Friday because people are too busy in the weekends to hear everything. But in that note, we're just going to go ahead and wait what happens tomorrow. Or maybe we might hear today. Who knows? But I'm going to go with you, Mom. It's going to be Friday. So we will wait till Friday. We'll wait till tomorrow and see what happens. I will talk to you later, Mom.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.
Have a good one, Mom. Bye.